Hello, everybody. This is Boxing Bros UK. I'm a Chris, and this is my co-host Andrew, the Boxing Brain. And
Hi, Chris.
today's topic is it's the post-fight review of Crawford versus Madrimov. Madrimov. Yeah. Andrew, thoughts?
Well, kind of what we expected. I don't know how many of the kind of general kind of casual fans out there who just like the kind of big fights would have been surprised looking at have a brief look at Madrimov's record, only 10 fights, not realising he's had like fucking about 300 odd amateur fights. So never underestimate someone based on that. Well, a lot closer than we expected the first five rounds were pretty cagey. I think Madrimov was outlanding, I think, in the first 5 to 6 rounds. Catching him with a right hand a lot. Second half of the fight, Crawford started to step it up a little. Madrimov was clinching a little bit more, holding late on. But what was it in the end? It was 116, 112, and then 115, 113 by the two other judges, wasn't it? So that kind of tells I think that's probably about right, Chris, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. My scorecard, I had it 116, 112 Crawford. That's what I had.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell that he won that fight. It was very, very close, but he didn't win.
Yeah.
He didn't win. No way. So I don't know why people are crying, robbery, and what. I don't know what fucking Eddie Hearn was like, acting like a fucking petulant child. What was that about?
Yeah, Crawford was asked that in the interview. He was quite laid back about it, Crawford, but yeah.
Yeah, he was like kicking off, like, this is fucking bollocks. It's because it's Crawford. It doesn't matter. It's just like, what are you talking about? He won. He couldn't. There's no way that you could have given the fight to Madrimov. No way. But it was very, very close. And he was, like you say, he's had about 300 amateur fights. Because you know what's going to happen. Everyone's going to go, Crawford fucking struggled with a guy who's only had 10 fights, blah, blah, blah. Let's not forget, that Lomachenko had a world title fight basically in his second fight as a pro or something. And everyone, and that guy struggled with Lomachenko. He got a decision, but he still struggled with him because of all the amateur experience. You've got to take that into account. And the guy was very, very good. He was very, very, very good. Like, I think he'll give Boots Ennis a run for his money. He had great lateral movement. Good feints, good reactions, like his foot feints, head movement. He's very smart. Obviously, Crawford was fighting southpaw, so he's throwing a lead right hand, and he kept catching him with it. And instead of like trying to jab him, because it's hard to jab a southpaw, it's hard to catch a southpaw when you're orthodox with a jab like that. So he's throwing a lead right hand. He was very, very good, and Crawford beating him. He just beat a world champion. Yeah, he's a paper champion. He didn't win it from Charlo or whoever, but he's still a really, really good fighter. He was really, really good. I was very impressed with him.
Yeah. Very durable, as you say, great footwork. And the thing I was watching the interview with Crawford was quite interesting, and he's quite a sort of laid back sort of fella. He's quite a humble guy, which I quite like anyway. And they were talking about and Eddie Hearn. I mean, promoters do that, I think, because he's their fighter, isn't he? He wants to kind of, protect his fighter and all the rest of it. But I think there was an interesting question. They said, was that your hardest fight, would you say? And he was like, no, the Mean Machine was harder. This fight was harder. But I don't know whether he's sort of just trying to protect his ego. To me, that looked like possibly his hardest fight, I would say. But it's up there anyway.
It's his hardest fight in like the past 3 or 4 years because he's knocked everyone out. His last 11 fights, he's knocked everybody out. He's stopped everyone in 11 fights. So it's definitely his hardest fight in recent times, for sure. I don't give a shit.
Overall, though.
Yeah. Overall, it's got to be one of his hardest fights because he was hitting him as hard as you can. You couldn't switch stance because you was terrified of his jab. Like, so, and you didn't. So it was just like, and then what he didn't want. I think he didn't want that overhand right. He didn't want to get jabbed to the body. That's why he switched stance. But then Madrimov, he was throwing the lead right hand. It was like, I was very, very impressed. He was a lot better than everyone thought with all his amateur experience, and he's just like all his feints. And he's catching Crawford quite a bit, and he had some like unorthodox style, like some weird feints, like he was like dipping low with his hands, like an orangutan, and then putting them up, and it's just you know, like, I mean, he was really good.
He was patient as well. I think the thing I was surprised at was that he was really patient and sort of buying his time, and you could tell again that amateur pedigree, you know, all that wealth of experience, I think really came into effect in the fight. And I think dare I say it, that was probably because Crawford wouldn't have been surprised with the footwork, you know, with his strength, with his durability. I don't think he'd have been surprised with any of that. I think he might have been a bit surprised with just how patient Madrimov was. And and I think it then comes into the next point about carrying power up the weight divisions. And he was talking a lot before the fights about wanting to sort of finish at 168 against Canelo, or certainly go to that point at 168 with Canelo. I based off of that, I'm not terribly sure that would be a great idea now. Maybe in terms of a legacy fight, I get it. In terms of his legacy, I'm sure it's a very attractive proposition. But now he's a multiple weight world champ. Does he need to do that, Chris? That's the question I'll throw at you. Does he need to go at 168 to fight Canelo?
Definitely not. But because I don't think it's a legacy fight for him, it's a money fight. That's what he even said in the post-fight press conference. Will you fight Canelo? Well, if the money's there, yeah. Like, it's just, for me, he would be fighting Canelo for a payday. He's not, because there's no way he can think that there's no way that he can think that he can win. He's like, if power didn't carry up to 154, Canelo will fucking punch him in his arms, punch him in his hips. He'll fuck him up. It doesn't matter how much skill he's got. Canelo's too big. There's weight classes for a reason. I think 154 is his limit. The best thing, and the thing is, like, I hope people don't start saying, "Oh, Crawford's overrated" or whatever. He'd just be a very, very, very good fighter. Yeah, and I think that Crawford could become undisputed at 154 and then retire. That's what I think he should do, and I think he's got a very, very good chance of doing that.
Yeah,
all the other champions are weak.
That's a very. Can you imagine that undisputed at 154 as well? I mean, that, you know, forget the. I know, I get it. All the fans are going to really want to see that, and I understand that. But like, I have to say, I think I agree with you. Get undisputed at 154. He was saying he felt really strong, felt really good at 154. You know, I assume that to be true if he's saying that. But another, because he said, look, well, it's not a huge jump. You know, it's not a huge jump. So it's. But I think for that extra 14 pounds to 168, you know, that's going to be considerable.
Too much. Like, if he takes that fight, like, I don't know why Turkey Al Sheikh wants that fight. It's like he's desperate for it. He's sent an offer already. It's like,
I know. Yeah, he does. He does really want it.
And it's just like, and it was a bit of a chess match as well in the early rounds. Like, it was, and this is and the American fans. You've got an American guy fighting a fucking Israeli or a Romanian, and you're booing him. Like, what the fuck's going on? You should be, you should be singing his name. Come on, Crawford, like, showing him love. This is a 2-time undisputed champion. 4-weight, coming up to try and be a 4-weight world champion, and he's been undisputed twice at 140 and 147. What the fuck's going on?
This is the thing, isn't it? I mean, we both and all the boxing fraternity have massive respect for Crawford and the pound for pound legends. But I'm going to be quite honest and say I was looking forward to the Jared Anderson-Bacoli fight and the Ruiz-Miller fight more than the headline. So I don't know. It's just I don't know if there's that. Is it a lack of excitement when it comes to Crawford? He's a very subdued, laid-back personality. I think he's getting the respect that he deserves now in the wider boxing community, because I always felt like, why is this guy not a superstar? Like Canelo's a superstar, Floyd Mayweather's a but I think Crawford, and maybe this is a different conversation, different video, but I think Crawford doesn't seem to have that kind of status around him for whatever reason.
Like the charisma, and then obviously because he's really good, no one wanted to fight him. But like obviously he made easy work of Errol Spence, easy work. So that kind of like said, yeah, all right then, 2-weight undisputed champion. Should have been like blowing up, and it just didn't really happen. Like it's a good job Turkey Al-Sheikh likes his appreciates his boxing skills. But yeah, I think Crawford should stay at 154, try and become undisputed at that weight, or just retire now. You're a 4-weight world champion, 2-time undisputed champion. Just retire. He's 37.
Well, he's 37. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
How much more has he got left? I mean, he looks. Don't get me wrong. He looks sharp. He looks super fit. I don't think his performance was very much Crawford-like. I don't think it was an awful. I think he dealt with as best he can what was put in front of him. I think he was wary of Madrimov, absolutely, but I don't think it was a terrible performance by any means. It was a kind of solid, workman-like. He just didn't. He couldn't really put a dent on him, could he? Couldn't put a dent on him.
That's what I mean. You're fighting a young, hungry kid, great footwork, cast iron chin, power. Like, what the fuck do you want him to do? Just go in there and steamroll it and get knocked out. Like, there's no. But I suppose this is the casuals who were there.
Yeah.
They won't like proper. They don't really know boxing, and they can't like just appreciate. Oh, it's a chess match. Like this is actually a good fighter. We just say he's had 10 fights. Crawford should knock him out in 2 rounds. That's not how it works.
Oh, a wonderful amount of skill on show. Like, if you appreciate skill, right? If you appreciate, because you know when you watch some fights, when I was watching Ruiz Miller, I know it's a different video. You know, Jesus Christ, that was a scrappy affair. That was it was hard to watch. At times, just terrible. But you know, the footwork on display, the shot selection, the angles, the in and out of range, the judging distance, the kind of the psychology. I quite enjoy it. I love the heavyweight. I love knockouts. But look, great amount of skill on show from 2 very skillful fighters, and I appreciate that.
That's it. Like when they're both skilled, and like obviously when someone's really skilled and someone's not really, it gets boring if someone's just using all their skill all the time. But like when they're both skilled and they're like trying to set traps, and it's like a little bit of a chess match. And then you're watching and waiting to see who's going to fuck up first and make a mistake and get caught. Like I enjoy that because I appreciate boxing skills. You know what I mean? But what can you say? Yeah. What's next for Madrimov?
Well, I mean, I think he's obviously going to want to get some belts in that division, isn't he? I mean, I think he's probably outside of obviously Crawford now. He's the best fighter at 154. I can't, I can't see anyone in and around that division that he's not going to be able to beat. Do you? I mean, he's no.
I think obviously if Crawford doesn't give him the rematch, because he doesn't have to, say Crawford should go and unify, I believe. So he should go because all the belts are scattered. I think there's like 4. I think there's 4 champions or 3 or something. Why Crawford's going to go and fight someone who's got 2 belts, and I think he should go and fight the guy for the other belt.
Yeah,
and I don't think he's that good. So and try and win a title again, and then if Crawford wants to be undisputed before he retires, he's got to fight Madrimov again. Rematch.
Yeah. I mean, they're good at it. The two best in that division by far, but I don't know. Would Madrimov want to step? I mean, he's bigger that weight. Would he step up? Would he step up in weight, Madrimov? Well, we don't know, do we? Maybe he would. Maybe he'll go up and try and
fight him. I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo fucking made him an offer. He seems just like pluck fucking light middleweights and get welterweights up and just whatever, just pluck people who he feels like. They're not even champions or champions at 2 weight classes down. So you never know. But I think so just go for another title. That's what he definitely needs to do. Go straight into it, or fight someone to get a Mando spot for one of the other belts. That's what we can do, really.
But great event overall. I thought it was a really good card. Great event. You know, some good boxing. A surprise in there. You know, good close chess match main event. One sloppy sort of, you know, heavyweight fight. One really exciting heavyweight fight. Good card.
Yeah, but there's one thing that I wanted to say. Yeah, I just looked at my notes. Like, the commentary were like fucking really biased. Not Sean Porter. He was on point. But Sergio, whatever he's called, and I don't know who the commentators. Sergio, you know the guy who did that Contender show years ago? He's one of the commentators, the Latin Snake, and then the other guy. Like, they were really biased. Like, for Madrimov. Like, there was times when he was going, Madrimov just landed a right hand and Crawford blocked it. And he's like, there's another one. And he was blocking the punches. And it was a bit biased towards Madrimov. And I just thought it was a bit weird, man. It's like there was hating on Crawford. You know?
But this is what I mean. This is what I mean. I don't know. I can't come. Perhaps people can help us out in the comments, Americans who are going to get a bit more of a feel of how things feel out there with their own kind of channels and the rest of it. But I get from over on these shores, I've just get the impression there isn't the respect for Crawford that he deserves. Maybe I'm talking waffle here, but you know, I know what you mean. The commentary, just the general kind of, I don't know. I can't quite put, to me, you've got like Canelo, who's, you know, the second coming and all the rest of it.
No,
and
but he's Mexican. The Mexican fans are like,
he's Mexican.
The Mexican boxing fans.
Passionate. But, you know, I got other pound for pound legend. I don't know if it comes back to being an American thing. Chris.
Must be. And we're still looking for any American boxing fan. If you want to come on the show for a live and have a discussion about it with us, we'd really appreciate it. We'd love to have anybody have you on.
Yeah, get their side of it. Absolutely.
That's it. I think that's all you can really say about it, to be honest.
Yeah, not a great deal to because it wasn't obviously the most exciting spectacle. Wasn't a great deal to really kind of to get your teeth into really about it. I think it just was what it was. It was a close fight with two very, very good fighters with lots of experience. One with loads of professional experience, one with loads of amateur experience. And it just kind of was what it was, really, a close affair. But Crawford did win it. There was no robbery. There was none of this, because I've seen a bit of this that, is it, you know, I don't know really know where that comes from.
He's going to punch the judges in the face and all that shit. Well, it's just no way. It was not a robbery at all.
It wasn't one of those where you're like, we must have a rematch. We need a rematch to right the wrongs here. You know, they have to go again.
To be honest, I don't really want to see that fight again. It was all right on the night, but it's not something like, let's watch that again.
No, not particularly, no.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it. So, Boxing Bros UK.
Boxing Bros UK. Like and sub.
Yes, like and subscribe, please. See you later.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, Chris.